I love a good pancake, and pancakes are often eaten on Pancake Day, which this year was the 16th of February. It's also known as Shrove Tuesday because it comes on a Tuesday. Now, we in Britain have been eating pancakes since the Anglo-Saxon times, so for hundreds of years. And the reason for that is that pancakes would be used to finish off all of the things that you would have in your cupboards before the time of Lent. Now, Lent is the time between Ash Wednesday, the day after Pancake Day, and Easter Day. And people would often fast, go without the rich foods that they would normally eat between that time. And the reason they would do that is so they could focus on their relationship with Jesus. So they could not be focusing on what food they were going to eat, but be focusing on prayer and drawing closer to him. And so that is where the tradition of eating pancakes on Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day, came from. And I thought it'd be fun to show you how to make a pancake. To do this, you'll need a number of ingredients, but you'll also need to get an adult to help you because you'll be using hot pans and things like that. So, let's begin. To make your pancakes, you will need some oil to grease your pan, some milk, baking powder, plain white flour, and eggs. For one person, you will need 45 millilitres of milk, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 40 grams of plain white flour, and 1 large egg. But if you were doing this for 2 people, you would just double that amount. So 2 eggs, 80 grams of flour, etc. And you mix them all together. Now, I'm going to use my food mixer here, but you can use whatever you want. You can use a hand blender, an ordinary blender. You could even use a bowl and a fork or a whisk. The first thing we need to do is we need to grease our pan. I'm using Fry Light here, so I spray a few sprays in there. But you can equally use olive oil or even butter. That is basically so that the pancake doesn't stick to the pan. You want to turn the pan on to a medium to medium-high heat, and you've got to wait for that oil or spray, etc. to heat up. So now the pan has warmed up, what you do is you pour a little bit of the pancake mixture into the centre, and you pour it till it spreads out, and I would say you fill it about 2/3 of the way, not all the way to the edge, because then what you do is you roll the pan to move your pancake out a bit further to the edge. And then what you do is you wait. And what you're looking for is browning around on the edges of the pancake. So through the magic of film. So you can see at the edges here, it's starting to curl up and there's an ever so slight hint of brown just at the edge. Now it is time to flip our pancake. You can flip it with the spatula, which is my preferred method. You stick the spatula underneath and just turn it like that. However, the more flashy way of doing it is with the saucepan. And what you first need to do is just make sure, just teasing it with your spatula, just that the pancake freely moves around. Remember to turn off your hob while you're doing this. And just move it around on the pan. And when you're ready, just with a slight upwards and backwards motion, you flip it over and hopefully it lands face down like that. You then leave it on the heat, starting to heat up again, to cook that other side too. That side will take a far shorter amount of time to cook because the pancake itself is mostly cooked through. So, flipping pancakes, it is definitely a challenge. Not the easiest thing to be doing. As I said, always prefer to just flip it over using the spatula rather than actually flipping the pancake myself using the pan. And that's because so often it sticks in one place and then can fold over itself, or it can flip over and slam into something else. Even I've seen some stuck to ceilings. It's a difficult thing, but you can always try again. When I did my pancake, it flipped right over and landed the same way down again. And then I just simply had a go at flipping it again. You can always keep trying. And that is what's called resilience. Where something goes wrong, it doesn't happen exactly as you would have hoped to, but you keep trying, you keep having a go. Pancakes, perfect example of this. Keep having a go. It doesn't always work out the way you expect it to. So you may ask, what's the link between resilience and Shrove Tuesday and Lent and that process of fasting? Well, I was struck by the fact that people have been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. And even for those that are doing it now today, they may be coming back to that process of Lent, that fasting, that time of reflecting on God after another year and another year and another year. And to me, that is resilience, keeping on coming back. And it's not a circle where you come back to the same point and come back to the same point and come back to the same point. It's more a spiral where you come back to the same point, but at a higher place and a higher place. And so as we reflect and pray and try and listen to God, that is us coming back to that point at a higher and higher point. And I'm reminded of this prayer from a 13th century bishop, Richard of Chichester. And he prays to God day by day to know God more clearly, to love you more dearly, and to follow you more nearly. And that is my prayer and the prayer of Christians around the world, that we would know God more clearly, that we would love him more dearly, and we would follow him more nearly as we practice that process of getting to know him, getting to understand him better. And as we do that day by day. Thank you.